Hi, this is Sharon Schenker from Los Angeles. Beautiful day here. Today we're talking about the power of a smile. I watched a TED talk by a man called Ron Gutman. It was published in 2011, and he was talking about how he had just finished at UC Berkeley a 30-year longitudinal study about how he had taken yearbook photos, looked at the smiles, and predicted successfully how successful the person's marriage was going to be, how they scored in tests, and how inspirational they were to others in standardized tests, and how their general well-being was. And he was successful in his study, all by the smile in the photo. So there's a massive power to smiling. In Britain, they did a research study that said that one smile can generate the same brain stimulus as 2,000 bars of chocolate. So there's a lot to smiling. And also, smiling is much healthier than chocolate. We're told, as far as science, that smiling reduces the level of stress-enhancing hormones like cortisol, adrenaline, and dopamine, and can increase endorphins that reduce your blood pressure and help your overall well-being. So smiling is a really small curve that puts a lot of things straight, and we should try doing it. We can do a lot of practice today, I hope. But smiling isn't just something cute to talk about. It's a mitzvah. It's a Jewish obligation. A sage called Shammai wrote in Ethics of the Fathers that we should greet everyone with a seva panim yafos, with a cheerful countenance as we greet everyone in the street. And the words itself, kabel, which means to receive, we meant to receive every man with a cheerful countenance. Kabel means to take in, to accept, to receive. Seva, which is the root of the word samach beis reish, means to think. You have to think deeply, use your thoughts and intellect to find what's good in the other person in order to be able to greet them with this happy face. And panim means face. You have to turn your face to the person like this, a full frontal smile, not just like your ear or your side. You actually have to show all your pearly whites. Rabbi Baruch Lev, Rabbi Baruch Lev mentioned that, mystically speaking, your teeth are connected to the 32 measures of divine wisdom that you have inside of your body, which happen to rest in your mind and in your thoughts. And 32 is also the same letters in Gematria. Gematria is the numerical value of each letter. Aleph is 1, Base is 2, Gimel is 3. 32 is the teeth that you have in your mouth, the adult teeth. And that corresponds to the word lev, which means heart. Because when you smile at someone, you're willing to be open. You're willing to shine yourself to them. When you're not open, you have a frown and your lips are tight, and you might even turn yourself away or hide your smile if you don't feel secure. But to smile at someone in this way, we get to really show the depth of wisdom that we have. So it's not just cute. There's something that we can learn from here. We're also told in Judaism that your face is a public property. It's not private, it's not yours, because with our faces and our expressions and our smiles, we really affect the people around us in a big way. We learn this from a story in the Torah with Jacob and Pharaoh. The first time Jacob meets Pharaoh, he walks up to him, I'm paraphrasing, and Jacob first says, "How old are you? How many days have you had?" And Jacob explains, "Oh, my life has been very hard, it's been very bitter." And he was actually punished for those words. We're told that every word that he spoke was taken off of his life. But also the words of the question that Pharaoh asked him, "How old are you? How many years have you got?" was also taken off. And they added 13. 13 years were taken off of his life. Why? Because as he walked in, Pharaoh saw that he was sad and beaten by his day, and it caused him to ask the question, "How old are you? What's going on?" So we know that just like if you go into your house and you're overwhelmed and you're stressed, it has an effect on the home that you're living in. dad comes home and he's had a really pressured day, or the kids are stressed about a project and they show it on their face, it brings down everyone else as well. So we are responsible. This is a public domain, and we have to take care of how it looks so that we don't affect other people, but we only affect them positively. There was a story of a woman was reported in France. She lived to 120, and they went and they interviewed her, and they said, "Tell me, lady in France who's really old, how have you lived so long? What's the secret to your longevity?" And this woman says, I quote, "I love to smile. I smile every day, and it's what's kept me alive and feeling so young." So not only does it make our wrinkles go upwards instead of down and make us look sour, but it's good for a long life. So there's a story of a Mr. Samo. There was a slaughterhouse in South America, and there was a night watchman called Alex. Mr. Samo, at the end of every night, he would go into the slaughterhouse and check that everything was fine and safe and there was no one left in the building. And one night he comes out and he says good evening to Alex, the watchman. And Alex says, "Well, hold on, you can't be leaving yet." He says, "No, I'm fine, I've checked it." He said, "No, there's someone still in there." He says, "No, I've checked, I'm fine. I do this every night, Alex, it's okay." "No, I know there's someone still in there." So just to make him happy, Mr. Samo walks back into the building, has another survey around and realizes there's no one there. Comes back out, says, "Alex, it's okay. There's no one else in the building." Alex says, "I know there's someone in there. You have to go. Maybe they've hurt themselves." So just to make Alex, who he thought was cute, he was caring, he went back into the building again. And he's looking around. And as he looks around, he walks past the walk-in freezer. He thinks, yeah, it could be big enough for someone to have walked in. And he opens up the freezer and he finds not just one, but 3 people close to death in the freezer. They called the ambulance and it saved their lives. Alex saying, "Mr. Samo, you've got to go check again." He saved not just one person, but 3 people's lives. The next day, Mr. Samo goes to Alex. He says, "Alex, look, it was amazing what you did and that I went in. Thank God I found them. How did you know?" He said, "Well, those 3 slaughterers have come from Israel. They came in the summer. And every single day as they walk in the building, they say, 'Hi, Alex,' and they greet me with a smile and they say, 'Good morning.' And every night when they leave, again, they greet me with a smile after their day and they say, 'Good evening, good night.' And I knew I got it that morning and I knew I had not received it that night. And that's how I knew there was still someone in the building." So the power of their smile didn't just save one person, it really saved 3. We also have a beautiful blessing that we give the children on Friday night. It's called the priestly blessing. It was the high priest, the priest would give it in the temple, in temple times. And today, the priests that we have, the Kohanim, the Cohens, they give it to the congregation in temple and synagogue. And on a Friday night, the parents are able to give this blessing to their children. So I want to read you what it says, the text of the blessing. It says, "May God bless you and keep you safe. May God make his face shine upon you. And may God lift his face towards you and give you peace." And the Talmud explains that shining face, may God shine his face upon you, is God smiling at you. We're asking Hashem to smile on our children and the Jewish people, the congregation. Why? Every time, something called Hester Panim is when God hides his face to the Jewish people. Calamities happen, bad stuff happens to the Jewish people. But when God smiles on the Jewish people, that's when we have the freedom of living that we have today. So we're asking not only Hashem should shine on our children, but the entire world. And it's a blessing we give our children. But we know that we're created, the whole of mankind is created in God's image and in God's form. And our shining countenance is the smile that we have. And we get to be an illuminator to everyone else that we come across. We get to light up their world and shine upon them with our godly smile, emulating God by giving to others good, positive energy. And the Talmud says, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, another sage of He said no one greeted him first. He always ran to not only greet them with a friendly, happy countenance, but he greeted them first. So when my kids were younger, we used to have this game. I would walk on Friday night, tell them that how important it is that we have an ability to be friendly and greet and give energy to people, but we tried to do it first too. So as we walk down the street, we live in a large Jewish community here, and people say good Shabbat Shalom or good Shabbos to each other. And we had a game called Pajamas. So instead of good Shabbos, we would say pajamas because it sounds similar. But even though it was funny and my kids would laugh hysterically when we said pajamas and they said good Shabbos in return, it still taught them to be happy and greet everyone with a happy face. So it's such a fun game, you should try it. We're told what we do on the outside awakens what happens inside. And here's a few tricks for you. So I heard from, it's really Rabbi Zelig Pliskin, my favorite book rabbi. He says, Chitzonius ma'orei panimis, what we do on the outside awakens how we feel on the inside. And it's actually a doctor in Germany, they did research where they gave a whole group of people a pen or pencil and they had to put it in between their teeth, like so, where you're forced to make a smile. And then they gave another group also a pencil, but they had to put it in between their lips, where you have to frown. And they did all these studies with them, and the people that were forced to make a smile were significantly happier in everything and more fulfilled in what they did in the time period of the test. And the people that had to frown were sad and felt down and depressed. So Rabbi Pliskin says, not only should we move and feel good about ourselves, and one of his ways of doing that, he says, if you're feeling down, you should look in the mirror and go, I feel good, I feel great. I feel good, I feel great. Not only do you feel silly, but the movement creates positive energy, and it's impossible to stay in a funk. So I feel good, I feel great, like that. You keep doing it, you could do it in your own time. But also, the best lesson is that you should smile at mirrors. So usually when you look in a mirror, you do this, and you look at your pimples and your wrinkles and your face and what's going on, and you do it with a critical eye. But to everybody else, we give this wonderful energy. But to yourself, it's like, that's how I look today. Okay, let's see what I can do with what I've got. So I guess about 20 times a day, you actually look in a mirror. Either you've gone to the bathroom, you've washed your hands, or you're checking out your visor in the car or the shop windows, you're checking out how you look, your clothes. Every time getting ready in the morning and in the evening as you're taking off makeup or washing your face, about 20 times on average, you're looking in the mirror. So imagine if every single one of those times you smiled at yourself and went, hey, how you doing? Hey, how are you? It gives you the tremendous energy that you're extending to everyone else during the day. But we know we've got to love everyone like we love ourselves. So you have to be able to give that positive energy to yourself. Smile at mirrors every day. It's that small curve that makes you feel so good. And then you practice it with other people. So I used to, for a decade, I taught a Shabbat morning class. And I would challenge the women that as they walk to shul and back again, they should try and greet everybody. And I loved it, because every morning I would see generally the same people. And one Shabbat morning, this woman, she was not a Jewish lady, wearing a very fancy suit, an older lady, and she kind of pushed her walker and went on her merry walk every week. For years I would see her and I would greet her, how are you, have a good day, and smile at her. And once she stopped me, and it was very meaningful. She let me know that her children had moved away, and every week I was one person that she knew that was a constant, that would smile. I didn't know her name, but that I would smile at her and greet her and wish her a good day. And she said it gave her a pick-me-up, that she didn't really have much physical contact with other people, but my smile gave her an energy that carried her through the day. And it was so impactful for me. When we smile at someone else, you know what it does? It says, I notice you. I see you. I accept you. I want to have a relationship with you. I want to be open with you and connect because I see that you're valuable. That's what a smile does. Even if you go into a store, you walk into a store and the lady's like, huh, 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 you're not going to go back. But if the lady or the man says, hi, how are you? How can I help you today? Come on in. Let's see what we've got here. You can walk out the store with 8 pairs of shoes and keep going back because they're so nice. So when I was younger and I used to work in different organizations, the first thing I learned, I used to work for a place called the Hair, Beauty and Fitness Center. And it said on the telephone, before picking up the phone, smile. So you would walk over to the phone and then go, hello, Hair, Beauty and Fitness Center, how can I help you? And people felt that you cared for them. At one point in my life, I sold beds to old age pensioners. And again, we had to smile. It's a sales job. With sales, it's all about the tone and the music of your voice as well. That I care for you. I want to connect with you. And here's a product that I think can benefit your life. And again, we'd pick up the phone and you start with a smile. That's how we should teach our children to speak to their friends and us in all connections that we have. We should pick up the phone and start with a smile. Imagine doing that in your house as well. Walking into your house where you don't know what's flying and just knowing that the smile that you have to someone in that house, now it doesn't matter what's happened on the playground of life, they've come home, they're in your family house and you're smiling. You're telling them, I notice you, I want to give you good energy, I value you, I see you, your godly self, and I want to connect and give you positive energy. So here's a question to ponder. Are you a pleasure to live with? Rabbi Zelig Pliskin's marriage book, he asked that question. I think it's a great question, especially right now. We're during Corona, for anyone that's watching, and we are definitely living with the people in our homes because there's no escaping. There's nowhere to go. Are you a pleasure to live with? Are you making it an inviting, wonderful stay? So one of his pieces of advice, he said that you should think about the music of your voice and how you smile at people. So just like I said, in business, if you want to have a connection, you pick up the phone and you make the music of your voice sound one that's inviting. Also, imagine doing that in your home too. Imagine how our home atmosphere could change if we used the power of a shining countenance to connect and uplift everyone else. Like the verse in Ethics of Our Fathers, it says, greet everyone with a cheerful countenance, a pleasant face. I accept you, I love you. Receive everyone cheerfully and initiate the greeting. Don't wait for them to come to you. There's so many different opportunities where your ego says they need to come to me. So go and greet everybody. And again, you're role modeling. And eventually, hopefully, the circle will come round to you. The power of a smile is massive. Hashem gave you the gift in his image where you get to emulate him. Make the most of it today. Smile at the people that you love because you put so much of it out in the people that you don't even know. You smile at people, you smile at the UPS man, you smile at the delivery man, and you walk into your house and you're not mindful anymore. So just take this opportunity to think about how being mindful, smile at mirrors, greet everyone cheerfully, and not only imbue yourself and give yourself an oxygen shower, but be able to be a giver, give to everyone else in your life. Sending smiles and love from Los Angeles.